Good evening, guys. Good evening. Give me a minute, guys. I'm just trying to set up. I thought I had IG on. My apologies. Give me 1 second while I'm waiting to come on. How is everybody's evening going? Thursday already, guys. This week has been flying, 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 flying. I have the private chat open for you guys on Facebook. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I just want to ask y'all, like, do y'all have favorite? Like, I have a favorite snack. Like, this is my all time favorite. I love, love, love sweetest fish. When I first moved to Charlotte, I couldn't find these anywhere. I started finding them, and I was like a kid in a candy store, right? So like I'm really not a big candy eater. Like I prefer chocolate, but being in Charlotte for so long and not being able to find sweetest fish, and then I find them. So now it's like I've found them for a couple years, but like I literally have to be in the mood. But that's like my all time favorite snack, guys. Guys, it's Thursday, 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 Thursday. So I'm going to jump right in tonight because I'm not going to be too long. We are on day 10. Good evening. I'm your girl, Finance Muslima. I am a licensed life insurance agent in the states of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Connecticut. Yeah, something's missing. Oh, North Carolina. Did I say North Carolina? I'm tired, guys. I am your financial coach. I'm all things mindset and money. If you haven't joined the Mindset and Money Game private Facebook page, you should do so. That thing stay litty. It's always a lot going on. If you're looking for to be amongst some women doing like-minded things, Mindset and Money Gang private Facebook group, you can get it by going to my website or clicking the link in the bio. So, yeah, I am an author. I am a speaker. I am your all around girl for finances. I'm a connector. I told y'all whatever y'all need, hit me up wherever you at. If your girl can't help you, I'm gonna make sure you get the help that you need. I have and yes, you guys always like, I'm gonna always tell y'all this because I didn't just jump out of nowhere. Like, yeah, I'm gonna start talking to people, talk, get in the community and start sharing the knowledge that I have or whatever the case may be. No, it's way deeper than that, guys. It's way deeper than that. Like this thing became about with a long journey, starting from me personally, changing my own life and then putting myself out there on the forefront in order to help other people. And you guys know that it's hard to help our people. Y'all know y'all gotta be real. Like, just be real. Can I be real? Like, just be real. Y'all, I'm not gonna ask y'all, can I be real? Because y'all know I'm always real on in my space, my platform. This is what I do over here. So it's hard to help our people. Yes, it is. But guess what? I never stop and I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to give up on us because somebody has to have hope and believe in us. Somebody has to believe in us, right? But it's a lot. It's hard. It's a lot of work. But it's much needed and somebody has to do it. So yes, I definitely do have results in everything that I do. I didn't just decide to just wake up and come do this without having proven results of people I've helped, in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. It was a good year. Now we in 2021. Yes, I do have proven results. Um, if you're in a private Facebook group, a lot of them in there was my clients, is my clients. A lot of people on my IG are my clients. I like to speak things to existence. And then also too, a lot of people on my Facebook are, some of my clients. Yeah, so I have proven results, and my results on my website are not just testimonies from random people. They're people that's really close and dear to me. If you know me, then you know those people on the website are. So thanks for joining your girl tonight. We're going to talk about This is day 10, and it may not be a fun, interesting topic for you guys, but it's much necessary. So let's go ahead and get going. Another first before I get started, as always, I want to let y'all know that we have the 60 ways of cutting back. That is a free cheat sheet that I have on the website. We also have the millionaire mindset on the website for free. That is really a layout of a morning routine. So morning routines is a thing that has really helped change my life for the last couple of years. I get thrown off sometimes. I'm not perfect, um, especially if I'm traveling or something like that. But sometimes it's not really. It depends. But yes, honestly, I do personally get thrown off sometimes. But some couple of years now, I've been sticking to his morning routine, and they're really life changing. The thing that's really worked best for me was the prayer, the meditation, the affirmations. Just getting up, speaking life into yourself. You know what I mean? Giving yourself that minute before you jumping on them cell phones, because they are very toxic sometimes. Or you jumping on social media, it's toxic, guys. You jumping into everybody else's life. So the millionaire mindset is a really good one if you're trying to create a really dope morning routine, but probably just can't. Even if for you guys that's just jumping in, but you may can't really stay true to it, because guess what? Life is loud. Life is very loud, and the morning routine, the millionaire mindset is something that I created to help you stick to a morning routine. Because guess what? You got to pour and speak life into yourself before you can jump out here into all this crazy world that we live in. We live in a very crazy and toxic society where we are so we trying so bad to do what everybody else do. We want to look like everybody. We want to dress like everybody. Every time somebody do something, we jumping on a bandwagon with them. We can't even keep our own thoughts so clear, stay focused on our target, because we so much worried about everything that's going on. We can't even shut down and block the world out and get sleep. That's how deep it is for some people. So that download is a really, really great one for you guys. All of them are. You have the 60 ways to cut back. That's a free download for you guys. Um, and some other ones on there too. You got to check out the website, www.faithfamilyfinance.co, www.faithfamilyfinance.co. And then also the financial planners, they're also on sale for $24.99. If you haven't gotten your planner yet, it's about to be March. So, and also the really dope thing about this financial planner, one of the things that differentiate it is because it's not dated. So you didn't have to purchase it and start it in January, right? If your time for you to get started is March, April, May, guess what? Buy your book, get started when you need to get started. So that's a great thing about that too. There's no pressure. Get started when you need to get started. The time is right now. It's time to stop waiting and playing around, guys, procrastinating. Because you missing your blessings and stuff. Keep holding and pushing everything out. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Oh, so for Black History Month, this is February, we're in Black History Month. We literally have, so this is the 18th. We got one whole week of next week, right? I said I'm only doing 5 more 30-minute free development calls. So if you haven't, click the link in the bio, book you a call, send me a DM, send me an email. I'm only doing 5 more, and that's it. And you only have one more week to tap in for the full financial plan and the one-on-one with me for the 149, valued at $300. if you're unsure of what a full financial plan consists of, if you've never sat with a financial coach, you've never sat with a financial advisor or financial professional of any sort, and you just don't know what a financial plan consists of, right? You're like, oh, I may need this, but I'm not sure what it is. How can this help me? What would it help me do? Is this what I need for my financial problems that I'm facing? If you don't know the answer to those questions, then you definitely need to sit with a financial professional. And sooner rather than later, because this day and time that we live, if you've never sat with a financial coach, you need to sit with them. Because, and if it's not me, then I'm the one that's like, you need to go sit with somebody, because this day that we, in time that we live, right? Life is so much deeper than just grinding and working and save money, working and save money, working and living life. Like, you need to have a plan. You need to be building an empire and some sort for somebody that you need to leave, that you're leaving your wealth to. And that's, you have to have a strategic plan to get it done. So you need to sit with a financial professional. And it doesn't mean that, oh, nobody's downplaying you or nothing like that. But guys, we're being real. This is what I do. I provide the tools and strategies to help you guys do the necessary. And that's just the bottom line. So if you taking it the wrong way, then you and your feelings and your emotional, and you're probably not ready yet, if that's the case. So for this month of February, so I said we got one more week left for it to go for 149, versus the $300. That it's going to go back up to $300 for March. So I decided to do 12 days of financial planning, and I decided to do it to break down everything that a financial plan consists of, in case you have never, you don't know what a financial plan is, you've never had one before, whatever the case may be. So I don't want my laptop to die, so let me go ahead and jump through. So day one, we did dreams and goals. So I was telling you guys how super important it is to always, always, always dream big, right? We did our dreams and goals day one. The second night, we did a personal finance strategy. Day three, we did a cash flow summary. Day four, we did financial planning. And no, day four, we did a monthly cash flow. And day five, we did debt management. Talked about good and bad debt, leveraging that. Day six, we talked about proper protection in the family. How much life insurance you should have versus how much you have now. How do you know how much life insurance you need? Right? If you need a life insurance quote, send me a DM or send me an email. I'll be glad to get you a quote. Another thing too, I would encourage you guys to do. You can afford, so get your children their own policies. Start them off with at least half a mil, 250,000. It's very inexpensive while they're young and healthy. I encourage you to get your children their own policies so you can have some wealth to pass down. And then day seven, we talked about the insurable need. How much life insurance you need based on how you're living right now. We talked about emergency fund on day eight, the proper way, the proper strategy to creating your own emergency fund, and what that should look like for your household. On day nine, we went over, which was last night, we talked about the retirement need. Where you at with retirement, knowing, do you know your retirement number? Do you know how much social security you have as of today? Um, what does retirement look like for you? How much money do you think, or you think that you're going to need based on what you want your lifestyle to be, when it's time for you to retire? When is it time for you to retire? Is that an age for you, or is that an amount of money for you? So that's a huge thing. Let me get my charger, guys. I apologize. I don't want a laptop to click off. Give me a minute. All right, guys, thanks for your patience. I got the charger. Don't want the laptop to go out because this is super important that I keep this content because I know this content is going to help some people now and also in the future. So it's super important to keep this content. So we backed up on business. All right, guys. So this is day 10. We are going to go over estate planning, planning your estate. You know, what does your estate look like? Have you even thought about that? We talked about the life insurance last night. I mean, we talked about the retirement. I have the private chat on as well for you guys. If you have any questions, ping them through and I'll comment back as I'm going along. So when we talked about last night on day 9, when I talked about the need of retirement, I was getting DMs from people in text today, right? Like, you know, that joke was deep. You know, I never really thought about that. You know, I got some things I need to figure out. Like, that's what it's about, guys. Like, that small stuff like that, it makes me so proud. And I'm like, yeah, you know, if you need some help, let me know. You know, we have to talk about these things and we have to deal with them. We have to deal with our priorities. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are, or you know, you feel like you don't have enough money, or you're not at a place where you want to be in your life. It doesn't matter. You're downplaying your whole life. And if you don't start speaking things into existence and start speaking high of your life, how are you going to ever have enough confidence and enough heart and enough courage and build thick skin and you know to even hit the target? You acting like you're too soft. Like, listen, it doesn't matter where you at. You could be 20 years old, and that don't mean that you can't have the conversation about retiring. You might be a 20-year-old entrepreneur already because you might have your parents probably birthed you into business. Like, really, that's all you know, right? So we have to start speaking our life into existence. Don't matter what age or none of these things, guys. We have to start talking about what's not being talked about. That's just the bottom line. So when it comes to estate, when it comes to our estate, you know, this is 2021. We have a lot of people, and I'm very proud to say, and I'm very happy that you know our people are teaching more. They're talking about real estate more. They're sharing more. Our people are buying up real estate, buying blocks, right? Our people are doing the damn thing right now. I'm very, very proud of that because guess what? It comes from an era where, you know, it wasn't really about a lot of those things. Like you may have had a couple people in your hood that was investing and doing different stuff, but it wasn't really a thing. It's 2021 and it's really a thing. So with that being said, we have people that more and more people that are you know have assets, they're owning assets, they're you know they have properties. People are in the stock game like crazy. A lot of our people, I'm so very proud of that as well. We have the Wall Street Trapper guy, he's one of the guys I follow, and my son does his program. We have another girl from Philly, I forget her name. She was bored up of the houses in Baltimore, young black girl. Like it's so many of them. So when I say assets, it can be various different ways. So you know, vending machines, they're assets. So when you know we're purchasing these assets with our hard work money. So why are we not doing the necessary and finding out the education and the things that we need to do in order to make sure these things are passed down in a proper way to our children or whoever you want to pass down to? And y'all know, I would say it again. Y'all know I got to be real. Or are you just getting into the game of purchasing stuff and you know, like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this because everybody else doing it, or are you doing it because like, you know, you really building an empire for your family? Because we have some of those people too. And if you are one of them that's just doing it for other people or because it look good or because you want to share the picture on IG, then you're not going to be interested And the conversation that I'm talking about is securing it because you don't really care. You're not worried about that. You got into it for all the wrong reasons. So when it comes to estate, don't let a lifetime of successful savings be flushed down the drain by taxes, lawyers, and unintended errors. Proper estate planning can take care of your family during your life and after your life. And that's something very deep, guys. Purchasing assets while you're building your empire, those things can take care of your family while you're living and when you transition. It really can, as long as you have a proper game plan. That's why having a financial plan is so very important. And another thing that I wanted to put the throw out there because it's a thing that's like we may not want to address it, but it's really a thing. I was on a podcast listening to this, and the young lady was saying that us as parents, we be so focused on passing wealth down, but are our children, is your child ready to receive the wealth? You got to ask yourself that. I was like, whoa, that was mind blowing. Because it was so real. It was so real. And I was like, yo, you know what? That's crazy. And it made me think of first we came to mind where, like you may know like a lot of white people, their children get passed down different things and that's just how they live. And they may not want them. Like I've had or I was working in healthcare with a guy before and he was just so privileged. Like, he's like his family, had all of these things and he didn't want to be bothered with it. He had his own dreams and goals and stuff, which we all do and we do. It's like it's a real thing. And then I was in real estate school. I don't know if I even told you guys. I went to real estate school 2019. I didn't pass. I failed by a couple questions. And now that I'm bringing that up, I've been talking about that with some close friends for the last past like 6 months, 5, 6 months. I'm like, yo, I need to go back to real estate school and pass. But anyway, 2019, I was in real estate school with another white guy, and he, we used to sit next to each other every night or whatever, meet him, and then like two black girls on the other side. But he was only in school because he had to get his real estate license in order to take over his father's company. And it was like, you got to go get this license, you got to take over the company, da da da. So he was fighting with a lot of things in his head and a lot of demons as far as like, not being able to live and be his true self and do what his dreams and goals are because he had the pressure of his father of get your real estate license. I'm getting older. You need to learn how to run this company to get ready to take it over. So that's wealth. Like he's in the whole company, 20 something years old, and your father's like, go do this. So like that's not normal, guys, especially not in the black community. So when she said that on a podcast, like, we work so hard and we always talking about, especially us as women, right? Passing down this legacy and, building this empire for our children, but are they ready to receive? That's a question you got to ask yourself. And it's all based on, and I can't just say, you know, it's based on how you raise your children or, different things like this, whatever the case may be, because you can raise your child good, but that don't mean that their dreams and goals and desires may be to take over your company. Now, it's another thing if you leaving behind 5, 6 properties, and three of them you leave to your child, and your child is able to collect rent on them properties every month, and in order to help them survive, right? That's more income for your child every month. Now, it's one thing if you talking about from a real estate standpoint versus and them being able to collect income versus you like, oh, you got to take yeah, no, hey, versus you saying, take, go get your real estate license and take over this whole company. The child is like, that's the question that the girl said in the podcast. We work so hard, and we always talk about passing this wealth down to our children, but are our children ready to receive? Wealth can come in many different forms and many different aspects. So if you talking, you own 5, 6 buildings, you break it up. You may have 2 children. You want to, put in a trust fund amongst them. 3 of them, you want both of them to get split half of rent every month for however many years or however you want to do it. Right? You have the power to do all of those things. The trust will do what you want it to do. So that's one thing, provide income from your children when you transition, right? Versus like, take over this company. Kids have their own dreams and goals they want to do. So now he's faced with the pressure of how do I live and be my full self, but also do what my dad want me to do and start do this company. Like I don't want to have nothing to do with this company. Yes, it really is a great question. Is your child ready for the responsibility? Yeah. Cause he's like, the guy I was sitting next to in real estate school, he was just there because his father told him to come there, get the license, so he could take over the firm. He didn't want to take over the firm. Early 20s. That's rarely happens in our culture. I mean, but they're privileged and they have other problems, those type of problems. But I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, but it's like the bottom line is, will your child be ready to receive all this hard stuff that we work for? So it's a proper strategy that you need to be able to learn how to do when it comes to properly transferring the wealth. And every family and every household is going to be different because it depends on what you own. It depends on how you want it to go to whoever you want to leave it to. So each plan will be different based on your particular goal and your family. It's a lot of ways to learn how to minimize the taxes, spend less taxes, transfer things from one product to the other without paying taxes. It's lots of ways to minimize taxes, guys. And then the keys to preserving your estate. So we talked about retirement last night. The part of the retirement, I said, what does your retirement look like? You could be 20 or 30, 40 years old, right? What does your retirement look like? When you ask about somebody a question about retirement, the first person a person will say 60 to 65. Why is that the age that a person will say right off the bat for retirement? Because that's what we've been trained from being employees for so long, right? And that's all we know is our grandparents retiring at a certain age to wait and get this pension, right? So that's the only thing we know. 60, 65 will come to our mind. Now, if you're a business owner or you're solely in control of your own money, this is a very, very important topic that you need to be on your game, because you could be out here busting your butt making $100,000 every 6 months or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter what you make. What matters is how much you keep. So, do you have the trust in place? Do you have an insurance policy that's growing cash value in it? Do you have an IRA? No, I mean IRAs, yeah, they okay. So, do you have an annuity? I like an annuity better. Why? Because you can place it and somewhere for 5 years, you can get a guaranteed 6 to 8% interest for 5 years. You still living, take it out after the 5 years, put it in another one, probably more than likely Delaware Life or Nationwide, and get the guaranteed rate of return and not tie everything to the stock market. Because when you go to pull out, you're going to get hit with crazy tax if it's not tied to the trust fund, because you're going to have to take the tax hit when you pull stuff out and move it to another. So these things are very, 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 very important. Very, very, very important. First, the other thing too, making sure you have enough life insurance. Life insurance, it may look like a certain amount when you had one or two children. Thank you, thank you. It may look like the certain amount when you have one or two children. You may have purchased another home over the last 2 years. Why don't you have a 20-year term policy for 300 or 400,000 to cover the mortgage? What happens if the sole provider of the house cannot get the money that he brings in? How will the household live? So life insurance is for now and later. And then also a will. We don't talk about or do wills any longer. That's a really big thing. Understanding your state probate. North Carolina, whatever state you in, do you know the probate rules? You have to know the probate rules, especially if you're a person, business owners, entrepreneurs. If you're a person that own a lot of assets and all of these things, you should know about probate. Understanding the way that a trust fund works, the irrevocable trust, and minimizing of the taxing with trust funds. That is a huge thing, guys. Only your assets should be tied to a trust fund. Why? Because then you protect yourself from being sued. So they should be underneath the business name inside of a trust fund, not tied to you personally. And then learn how to minimize taxes, learn how to minimize estate taxes. And then last but not least, do not delay. Get it done, get it done, get it done. So, guys, I'm always talking to y'all about stuff that y'all don't really want to talk about, right? But we have to have a conversation. These are things that needs to be talked about. They really, really do. We shy away from the most important things, right? I'm talking about this all the time. Like we spend any amount of money on entertainment. We don't care if it's our last $100, right? We'll spend any amount of money on entertainment, but we won't spend time or enough prioritizing the things that we're supposed to do. The bottom line is we already know how to make money. The thing that we do very well with and then we slack off, it could be from basic budgeting, managing our money, sticking to our savings goals, just staying on track with our things. Life happens, but you gotta have that accountability to get you back rolling. As long as you stay over here, your girl's gonna do that. Why? Because helping y'all out, baby, it helps me out too. I'm not the best. I be needing help too. And I'll be staying on the ball helping y'all, and I'll be getting damn. I wish I could have bring some of my whiteboards in here to show y'all. But I'll be on it, guys. Like I'm just so super, like I'm very, very blessed. I'm very blessed and I'm grateful. I really am. So what I want to leave for you guys before I go, don't forget to go to the website to get the freebies. Get the freebies, get the freebies. Sign up for the email list for all of the free finance tips. The events, spring and summer is coming up. I'm getting ready to get some things popping. So make sure y'all stay connected. www.faithfamilyfinance.co. Grab you some freebies. We have the 12-month financial planner on sale for $24.99. If you need the whole financial planning, the one-on-one, it's on sale for $149 for the rest of February versus $300. Walaikum assalam. So make sure y'all grab that, grab that, grab that. If you don't need a financial planner, you can purchase one for your sister, your mother, get one for a friend. You got teenage daughters, teenage kids. Get them a financial planner. Click the link in my bio, www.faithfamilyfinance.co. And before I leave, I always want to leave with you guys. Make sure you spend responsibly. Make sure you keep track of your progress with your financial planner. Pay your bills on time and make sure you keep an eye on your credit score. These things are very important, guys. So if you need me, you can send me a DM. I'm a real person. I do help people, but I don't have time for games because my time is very limited. I be tired and I try to do my best, but I work on a very strict schedule. So I want to help you guys, but make sure you're serious. Don't send me no messages unless you're serious or really need help. Besides that, anything else that you need will be on the website. So we did day 10 tonight. I got 2 more days to go on 12 days of financial planning. And y'all only got 1 week, guys. So have a good night.